Shut up, wind. Hi there everyone, and welcome back to another Let's Trek Together video.
So we are out here in the middle of the woods today to talk to you about our 3 big gear items that we will be using on the AT. We thought it would be good to do this video before we go out to Arizona so you have an idea of what we will be using.
So if you don't know what the big 3 is, it is the pack that you're carrying everything in, the shelter you will be using, and the sleeping bag and or quilt you will be using in that shelter.
So let's get started.
So the first item we will be talking about is our pack, and the pack that we will be using on trail is the Zpacks Arc Zip 64 liters, as you can see Molly modeling it behind me. The features that we love about it is the actual arc part of the Zpacks, and as you can see there is a gap between her back and the actual pack, and it creates just a little bit airflow through the actual pack, so there is no sweat on her back and so that the gear is staying safe. So as I mentioned before, it is 64 liters, 49 liters in the main body, 2.5 liters on each side pocket, and this back here has a little zipper and it's the front pocket, and it is about 10 liters on the inside.
So one of the really awesome features about this is that the whole front of this bag unzips like a suitcase. So instead of having to go digging through your pack to get to the bottom, you can actually just unzip it and take things out. So you can see we have a sleeping pad in here, we got our tent and a couple other things. So this just gives a little bit more easy access to it. This material is a grid stop fabric that is really tough against abrasions, and it says that it's waterproof. From other people that we've seen use it, it's more water resistant than waterproof, but I guess we'll find out when we're actually out there and it's holding up against the weather on the AT.
So just some reasons why we picked the Arc Zip over some other backpacks is actually 2 words in the title. The actual arc feature, where it is going to save us a ton of pain and sweat in the summertime, and the actual zip on the front, where we can take out all of our gear without having to go from the top when we get to camp. It's just going to save us so much time.
So some of the other bags that we looked at were the ULA Circuit, the Hyperlight, and the Osprey bags. But comparing the weight with the price and the capacity that the bag holds and the water resistant features on it, we decided that this was the one that we thought would be the best bet for the AT. So now on to our shelter. This is the Big Agnes Tigerwall UL3. It's actually a 3-person tent, but we decided to go with something that would have a little bit more room, so if you wanted to put our backpacks inside when it's raining, and just to have a little bit more space.
So the packed tent, which includes this, the rainfly, the poles and the stakes, comes in at 47 ounces, which is about 2 pounds and 15 ounces. And my favorite feature on the actual tent is the double vestibule doors, so that we don't have to crawl over each other at night if we need to go to the bathroom or we need to leave the tent.
So here we have the Enlightened Equipment Revelation 20-degree quilt. As you can see, I'm holding it upside down. This is the toe box, foot box really, and it unzips here. So if you're really cold at night, you can zip it up, attach it to your sleeping pad, and keep your feet warm. But what's really cool is that the whole thing unzips.
So Molly decided to hide behind the quilt. It is a 22.5 ounce quilt, which comes out to a little bit less than 1.5 pounds, which is super light. This is the stuff sack that it came in, and it packs down really, really tiny, which is really awesome. On top of that, it also can be featured as a blanket in camp, and I think that was the main reason that we went with a quilt instead of a sleeping bag.
So one of the reasons I personally love the quilt over the sleeping bag is that I tend to get really, really warm at night. And so the fact that I can undo this and lay it down straight on my sleeping pad makes it so much more comfortable than being cocooned in a sleeping bag. And also, it's a lot lighter than most of the sleeping bags out there. So that concludes our video on our big 3. When we were picking these items, we really tried to be as ultralight as possible considering the weight. Not because we are super into the ultralight life, but because we want to be able to have the luxury of doing a couple other items that might not be as light as some of our other stuff. So we really hope you enjoyed this video. We're gonna link all of the equipment that we are using in the information section below, and if you have any more questions or comments on what we're using, or you want to put what you're using in your 2020 through hike, let us know.
Definitely subscribe for more content in the near future.
And as always,
let's trek together.